that since we are neighbors with South Africa, we are the same people. Guys, after visiting South Africa, I realized that we are complete different people. And I was so shocked, and I know this is going to shock you as well. So guys, the first culture shock I experienced in South Africa is people bathing using a dish inside the house. By the way, for those who don't know, I went to South Africa for studying, so I was at a university staying on campus. So when I went to South Africa, for me, I was used to go into the bathroom carrying my water. By the way, in Zimbabwe, we used to carry your bucket with water. You go to bath in the bathroom, water is spilling all over. But when I went to South Africa, my roommates, my personal roommates I was staying with, I could see them take some water, warm water, they put their dish on the chair, they take a towel, they rub their soap, they start washing themselves just like that. Guys, I tried it once. I spilled water all over the house. I was like, how are you guys doing it? You know, because every day I could see my roommates, they do that, they don't spill water all over, they just take their towel, they rub their soap, they start squeezing the whole body, they put their towel again in water, they rinse, just like that, inside the house. That was something new to me. I never knew that people can bath like that. I tried it one time. One time, the whole house from corner to corner was filled with water. I said, this is not for me. Because at least on our campus, there were showers. So I used to go into the shower. You know, me, I was used to bathing with running water, having that freedom of not controlling where my water is going and bathing. So when I saw people bathing inside the house, I was so shocked. By the way, I'm sure that's why most South Africans have glowing skin. Because people always say soap has this element that makes you look so good. So since most of them, I don't know if all of them does that, but some of them that I saw on my campus were doing that. Since they put soap on the towel and bath and also rinse, they leave a lot of soap on their skin. That's why maybe most South Africans, their skin is so glowing each and every time. But for me, it was a culture shock. I never knew you can actually bath like that because I tried it once and I failed. And the second culture shock I experienced in South Africa, guys, South Africans know how to have fun. Hey, you know, in my lifetime, I've never seen people who are born with an element of fun inside them. South Africans, let me talk from my own campus, from my own area I was living in Alice. Guys, people know how to have fun in South Africa. I used to see my friends going to discos, going to bashes, even on campus. They used to have university bashes. They used to have, you know, they have taverns. They have a lot of things, grooves. Yes, they call it grooves. By the way, people in South Africa, they know how to have fun. Naturally, I'm sure they are born with that element of fun inside of them. I used to have friends in South Africa, but sometimes I could not manage. I'm like, how can someone have fun? By the way, at our campus, they could have a bash for 72 hours. That is 3 days, non-stop. You go to partying to bash. First day, second day, it ends on the third day. People only go to their rooms just maybe to change their clothes, shower, and come back. 3 consecutive days. I'm like, wow, these people are talented. Me, 1 day or even hours, I could not manage. And some of my friends used to know me that sometimes I say, guys, no, this is too much. Me, I can't manage it all. But South Africans, it's in them. They are just funny people. They enjoy fun. Actually, fun, I'm sure, is in their bone marrows. So that was one of the culture shock I experienced, that people can have fun. 3 days consecutive, people are just grooving. People are having fun. So that was one of my culture shocks as well in South Africa. So if you go to South Africa, just know that South Africans are funny people. So if you associate with South Africans and you don't know how to have fun, you're not going to enjoy it, because South Africans, naturally, they are fun. Now, the third culture shock I also experienced in South Africa. Guys, people in South Africa, they know how to dance. I'm not saying there are no other countries where people know how to dance. Even in Zimbabwe, there are people who know how to dance. But South Africans, guys, there was nothing so fulfilling to me like watching a South African dance. Whether it's a party, whether it's what, whether I'm watching a video online on social media, just seeing a South African dancing, that was so satisfying to me. I feel like South Africa in SADC or the whole world, I don't know, correct me there. South Africa is one of the countries with the best dancers, also in the best music, amapiano. Guys, South Africa, they know how to dance. I don't know. I feel like they were born naturally with their bones dancing to music, or maybe South African parents, they listen so much to music when they are pregnant, because kids in South Africa, people in South Africa, naturally, they know how to dance. I was so shocked, guys, them. They start dancing. They tell me, Precious, why are you not dancing? In my head, my mind is running 360 degrees. If I'm to raise my leg here, what am I going to dance after seeing all this talent? You know, I just used to admire how they dance. Sometimes I could try copy them how they dance, but it was not clicking. It was not adding up. The way they move their legs, their body, like in electricity, I couldn't manage it. So that was one of the culture shock, by the way. South Africans, they know how to dance. I feel like South Africa is leading. It has people who know how to dance, flow with the music. They just know how to dance naturally. That was one of the culture shocks. The fourth culture shock, guys, I experienced in South Africa. This is going to be so much interesting. By the way, when I visited South Africa, I was staying closer to the beach, East London. So sometimes when it gets cold for real. By the way, where I was staying, I was next to a place where sometimes there's actually snow. People go there to see snow at a certain season. That shows how much South Africa can get cold sometimes. But what shocked me on my campus, one of the things I'll compliment South Africans, they know how to dress. They know how to slay. They know how to look good. By the way, people in South Africa, they take care of their bodies. They invest in hair, in clothes, nice things naturally. They dress so good. But what shocked me in the cold weather, I could see people, let me talk on my campus, it may not be the same with the whole South Africa. I used to see people in cold weather. Someone can wear a bomber jacket, a nice jacket to cover coldness, but down there, they're wearing either like a bum short, either like a what, and some big boots. So they even knew how to slay in coldness. I was looking at myself. The only thing you could see on me was my nose and my eyes. Everything I'm covering. I'm wearing the shirt with even ropes here to tie myself. I'm wearing a bomber jacket. I'm wearing a fleece trouser. I'm wearing these shoes and socks. But I go outside, it's very cold. I see girls wearing a nice and stylish jacket, to cover the cold. But down here, they are still slaying in the coldness. I'm like, wow, how do they even manage that? So that was one of the culture shocks, that even in coldness, you can see they are slaying, they are dressing nice. No matter how cold it is, they even know how to dress nice in coldness. I was so shocked, by the way, after seeing that. So guys, the fifth culture shock that I'm going to share with you today, that shocked me in South Africa, is the freedom. South Africa has too much freedom, but in a good way as well. I know freedom has its own bad negative ways, but I'm going to share the good thing I saw on South Africa on its freedom. First of all, when it comes to politics. In South Africa, by the way, people are so free to express who they love in terms of politics and who they don't love. I'll talk about my own campus. There were some organization, there was EFF, there was ANC, there was what SASCO. Those are part of organized political organization around the campus. And people were free to express who they want, who they choose, who they vote for, or who they want. The SRC thing, I wasn't into that, by the way, because I was a foreigner. I knew my place when I was in South Africa. I used not to involve myself in politics. But to tell you the truth, I saw the freedom. Comparing it to my country, Zimbabwe, truly in Zimbabwe, I don't think there was any other day you could find me talking about politics or saying Mugabe or Idi or what. No, the way I fear politics in Zimbabwe, I feel like in Zimbabwe there is not much that freedom that you can freely say, I love ZANU-PF, I hate MDC, I want to know. But in South Africa, I saw that there is so much freedom that people are free to express who they love. I was actually shocked that in South Africa, you can actually talk. People can talk about who they love and who they don't love, and it's still okay. And I also saw that there is also freedom in a good way. I saw in South Africa, there are good grants. South Africa knows how to take care of its people. By the way, I was shocked that sometimes, in terms of ladies, I actually found it there that you can give birth to a child or to 5 children and still apply for a grant that can help you take care of your children. That was something so new to me. And also I realized in South Africa, if you are involved in an accident, you broke your leg or something, you can actually apply for a grant. In South Africa, you get a lot of money from that accident. Those are the things that shocked me. I was like relating to my country. I'm like, imagine giving birth to your 6 children. That people could be having 10 children, I tell you, knowing that every child you are paid a grant, a certain money for that. People could be so wealthy in Zim. I saw that there is so much freedom in South Africa, but in a good way. South Africa knows its people, their grants, old age, just aging, growing old. You are paid for that. You have a grant for that. Can you imagine? Those are some of the things that shocked me in South Africa. It's freedom in a good way. Now, the last culture shock I experienced in South Africa. Guys, South Africa is one of the luxurious countries I have ever seen. Everything in South Africa is so luxurious. Talk about cars, talk about buildings, talk about roads. I feel like South Africa in SADC region is one of the leading countries. Actually, it's one of the developed countries. It has its standard roads and everything. South Africa is so good. Their buildings, everything is luxurious. So these are some of the culture shocks I experienced in South Africa.